What's up guys, and welcome back at long last for another EVE Online video. This one I am just, let me find the right tab, I'm just out chilling in nullsec with my dual nesters. I'm multi-boxing at the moment. Stephanie is also me. I'm in a C4, just as I say, multi-boxing, just working my way through some Frontier command posts, farming up some blue loot, and I thought I could take the opportunity to finally record another video. This is just a continuation of the series. I don't know if it really fits in the series, as mostly it's going to be me rambling on, but I guess that's the pattern it's all taken so far. So this is my Life as a Corporation Director series. I'm going to just warp into this site, get set up. Helping a court member out, so let's accept that. Yes, yes. There we go. Helping a new bro out. Right. So yeah, gonna warp in. I'll get myself set up, which will take a little bit of concentration, and then I'm good to talk everything through. So let's we are good. Let's warp fleet. Close that. Close that. You can see the setup I tend to go for at the moment. I will close that though. We don't need my bookmarks for now, so just move that up there. Alright, and we'll warp in as we land. I need to get both characters aligned to the furthest Argos. I've got Stephanie on a different monitor, and I'm not gonna flick over to her because it was too difficult for me to record both monitors at the same time. So furthest Argos down there. I don't want that one. I want to go that one, align. That one, align. And then when they're approached, I can start locking them both up now. When they're approached, I will MJD in so that we are close enough to everything to release the drones. Jump, jump. Wait for that to activate. And when we land, stop my ship. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Keep WAD at range. Not going to move though. Stephanie will drop her drones. Set them to assist WAD. WAD will drop his drones. Move Stephanie down. Start targeting the defenders because the preserver is the trigger. And drop him to you. And when they are ready, off you go drones. When you go target painter, right. Now we should be set up. I just need to make sure things are working. Everyone's getting cap, everyone's getting armor, so that's good. And then I like to get rid of the Argos before I do the trigger because the third wave has some pretty large alpha. It's a little bit overkill and a bit of a time waste because you don't get any loot from the sentries, but I just like to play it a bit safer because as I say, the final wave has a fairly large alpha damage. Drone's got some aggro. Not anymore. Good. The preservers are the trigger in this solve, so I could get rid of 4 of them and leave 1, but if I'm not quick enough with my drones, they will auto aggro it and can delete a preserver, and then suddenly I'll trigger the next wave, so I just leave them alone for as long as I can. Anyway, this isn't the purpose of this video. We're not here to talk through how to run a Frontier command post in dual nesters. We're here to talk about my life as a corporation director. If you've been following the series a while ago, you will be aware that obviously there's been a really big gap between this one and my last video. I think we're talking maybe 4 months since I last uploaded a video. It's a long old time for me. I was doing fairly regular uploads, but I had a big stuff happened in real life. I emigrated, so moved countries. I had to get set up there, get set up properly in a new job in a new city, blah blah, all that kind of stuff, and do the horrific thing of trying to have a life outdoors, when obviously it'd be nicer just to sit down, play Eve, and do what I've been doing. But that's all gone well. Like, again, this isn't a vlog, so I'm not gonna bore you with too many details there. But that's all gone well. Properly settled in now, and getting into a decent routine and a decent balance. So I've been able to start upping my Eve time again, and really start getting back into the game. One of the issues with recording, though, is I couldn't bring my desktop with me, so I'm currently back on my desktop, but I'm in the UK visiting for the holidays. But I couldn't take my desktop with me, and out there we've had to move. Apartments are somewhat temporary, like we're renting, and it's somewhat temporary. So I had to, I've invested in a nice high-end gaming spec laptop, so I can play Eve, I can multi-box on it. That's all good. But for recording, as most of you will be aware, a high-end gaming laptop is incredibly loud when it comes to fans. It's just a trade-off you have to make. Performance means noisy fans. If you want a quieter laptop, you sacrifice performance, can't play Eve on the higher specs, can't record properly, that kind of thing. So I'm still yet to record on that, because I'm a bit nervous about the fans. One day I will give it a go, especially if I start getting back into recording while we're here. So a little vlog bit over. What have we been doing in the corporation? So we got somewhat unfortunate. I think I mentioned in one of my last videos that, as well as me having to take some time off from the game because of real life, our CEO Hot Black has also had to take a significant break from the game. Two of our other senior players, they had to reduce their game time considerably, and so moved over into corporations that matched their time zones. So we had pretty much all, I'd say actually every single one of our director team at the time had to take a break from the game, and now obviously that has a significant impact on the activity of the corporation as a whole. We were putting a lot of energy and time into creating content for our membership, making sure everyone was able to work together, finding things for everyone to do, that kind of stuff. And when we weren't able to provide that anymore, some members obviously went off to go find it themselves elsewhere. Others just also picked it out with the game over the course of the summer, and when they've logged back in, there's not been much activity, so that they've not been drawn back to the game. That's the issues we've been facing. We've had a few members that did really step up to the plate during that period and did what they could to maintain activity. Cal being one of them, and he has recently joined the director team, which is excellent. He's been putting in a lot of work to keep things ticking over in everyone's absence. I've maybe now for 6 weeks ish, I've been able to play the game sort of properly again, which has meant I have been farming up a little bit. But while activity has been low, we have largely been I'd say like a small collection of solo players as opposed to a well-oiled group, and that's been good. That's fine. Like the guys that are active, that's clearly the play style they want to play, and for me it's worked out as well. For Cal it's worked out. And we do run the occasional small fleet thing. Cal and I especially, because we've both got a couple of nesters, we'll fleet up, go out in 4 or 5 nesters and farm, or rattlesnakes, go and farm quickly because we've got a few members with rattles. So we have been doing some fleet work, but primarily farming. Not much in the way of PvP, not too much in the way of industry, working as a cohesive group. That's slipped off. But as I say, we have been able to farm. So what I personally have been doing in that time is trying to pad my wallet, trying to get things set up ready for when we want to ramp up again. Because still the reason I play the game and the reason this series exists on YouTube is working together as a group is for me what I do. The social aspect of EVE I think is brilliant. It's what I get most out of the game now that I'm heavily invested in it. So I'm always, this farm period for me has always been with the intention of getting back to a fully active corporation. And one of the better ways to get there is to be able to have the resources to support the corporation, support individuals, so that we can really push back through that barrier again. So I've been buffering my wallet a little bit. For most of you this isn't going to be an impressive sum, but I've got 4 bill cash at the moment, liquid, which is it's fine. But I've also been investing in some of the assets. So you got 2 nesters on grid here. That's 3 billion. I've got a rattlesnake, which is another 1.5 billion. I've got a couple of we've been investing in assets so that I'm available to work with people on whatever they want to do, or lead people in a certain route. So if someone wants to do a PvP fleet, I can jump in my Tengo, I can jump in the Stratios, or I can jump in the so that exists, that's available. Whatever form they want the fleet to take, let's go. I'm ready. If you want to go and rat, I've got the armor nesters as a remote rep fleet that we recommend anyone in our wormhole gets, and I'm always available to take a fleet out and help people farm up if need be. We've got the rattlesnake to be shield buffer tanked, so that if any of our members that are shield based, if they want to go out and farm, I can go with them and we can do that instead. There's all those sorts of things, right? We've got a few mining. I've got mining capable fleets in the wormhole, all that kind of stuff. So building up the assets as part of the wallet building, and then also so a lot of that cash has just come from farming here, things like this, because this, just in case you're not aware, this is super lucrative. Obviously there's a high element of risk and you need the capital to get started, because as I mentioned I've got 3 billion on grid here, but there are 5 frontier command posts. Each one of these is 92 million ISK, and you'll see while I've been chatting away here, we're going to have worked through a whole site shortly, last of these, and then we're on the final wave. So it takes about 20 minutes to complete one of these. 92 million. So even with the warping between and cleaning up MTUs and stuff afterwards, these 5 sites would let's say take 2 hours. That's 450 million ISK pulled in for 2 hours work. Obviously I'm using 2 accounts, so if you're in a fleet where there's just 2 of you, you have to half that money, but we're still talking 225 million each in the space of 2 hours, right? This is pretty good money. We're not talking C5, C6 money, but it's a pretty lucrative income. So this is one of the sources. The other one is we've got Cal especially, but me as well, and 1 or 2 other guys. I've got very extensive PI setups in wormhole space now. Where's the preservers? Preserver, them first. The reason I'm taking these out first, by the way, obviously I regularly go off on tangents because we're doing this, but obviously while they're preservers, so they remote rep things, so that's one reason to get rid of them first. But also for the command posts, the awakened preservers are the spawn triggers. So if you take those two out, the site despawns from space, even though the rats stay. So suddenly no one can warp in on you unless they combat probe you. So that's my main reason for taking these guys out first. Also, just worth noting, by the way, this is the final wave. Is the reason I take the Argoses out. You've got 3 battleships, and the alpha is high. So if you just have a quick watch of Stephanie, like, you know, looks pretty stable. Suddenly, big hit comes in. There you go, running through. She chunks to maybe 2/5 of her armor down in the alpha strike every 18 seconds or so. So if I left the 6 Argoses, 6 sentry towers on there as well, you know, there's a real chance that whoever's focus fired might break. Now it's Wad's turn. Now you see the alpha just chunked all the way around. Start working on these now. These guys take a little while because they're all remote repping each other, but once you take one out, the rest fall quicker. And you can see now that the cruisers are gone, the preserver cruisers are gone, the site despawned. Interestingly, a new thing spawned, so I just need to keep an eye on that a little bit in case it means people are going to arrive, but it should be good. Anyway, what did I get to? So the PI setups. Yeah, we have some fairly extensive PI setups in our wormhole, and until recently that was obviously providing pretty easy income. I think the changes to the resourcing have affected the price a little bit, but still, it's easy money. Essentially no risk. The only risk is trying to get the PI out of the wormholes, but you know, that's fine. And that's been making me roughly, without much effort, where, you know, I'm not micromanaging it anymore. I did start off by micromanaging it, but then I got a bit bored. The effort I put in now is maybe an average of half an hour every 2 days. You know, sometimes it's less, sometimes I'm slightly more intense, but I'd say an average of half an hour every 2 days is pulling me in about 1.5 billion ISK a month. And like Cal's, and so I've got 25 planets maybe. Cal has a ridiculous number. He's got something like 80 or maybe even 90 planets. And you know, he's pulling in lots of them. He's pulling in close to 5 billion, I think, a month, maybe even more. So PI has been another big time killer. I just need to respond because this guy's chatting to me. Recording something. Smiley face. Right. Anyway. So as I say, that's what primarily been doing: farming PI, farming in wormholes. That was what occupied my time when my game time wasn't huge. Then as I got more and more involved back into the game, obviously I started to look towards the corporation again, and this series, Corporation Director, right? So starting to think ahead to what we might need to be able to do when the corporation is up and running again. So one angle I've gone for is we live in wormhole space. We've got access to all the wormhole resources. We've gone for looking at T3 production. So specifically Tengus. I've started setting up Tengu production line It's very inefficient, it's very slow because it's mostly just me, although I do get some resources from Cal. It's just me doing the reactions in the building and all that kind of stuff. So that's fine, but and it's also a long-term ISK sync, which is another reason my wallet isn't quite so padded as it could be, because I'm building the Tengus and their subsystems, and holding on to them. Until I've got a decent pile, I'm not going to go and sell any, because I want to keep a stockpile of Tengus available in the wormhole, in case we need them for defense, essentially. So if I keep a small pile, like, I don't know, 5 to 10 Tengus with subsystems ready to go, then, if anything starts going on in the wormhole, we can bring in some modules, and suddenly we've got a whole bunch of Tengus that people can jump into and go. As I say, that is an ISK. There's another ISK sync. Each one of those Tengus is, what is it? It's like 200 and something, plus the subsystems is another 150. It's probably about 350 per Tengu. So if I get to as high as 10, we are talking 3.5 billion just sat there, not being used until it's needed, which is always important for wormhole space. You keep your defense assets around and hope you never have to use them, basically. But so I've started doing that. My intention is to start doing a series on Tengu production. So do a YouTube video on the building of the Tengu itself and all the elements that go into it, so that the step-by-step process of how you build it, but then at each stage do another video about where you farm, where you can gain the resource to do that step, because there's quite a lot goes into it. There's gas harvesting, which then requires the reaction. There's sleeper salvage, so I would ordinarily salvage all of this, but that's the site finished for anyone that's keeping track of the time. What was I saying? Yeah, sleeper salvage. There is definitely something else that I'm blanking on. Oh, relic and data sites, and then doing the research on those and things. So there's an awful lot goes into it. An awful lot of skill points goes into it, which I think might be of interest to people, because if you're not in wormholes, you probably don't do Tech 3 production, because why would you? So I would like to do a series on that, and there'll be a whole bunch of stuff there. It's very much my intention to continue my series on Wormhole Workshop, like I did the first one. I got halfway through recording the second one before I had to move. I ran out of time, so I do want to pick that up again, and actually I'm probably going to target that video while I'm here in the UK. Finishing off is the basics. We did the basics of probe scanning, was the first video. The second one, which I'm going to upload, is how to identify a wormhole just by looking at it. That's the plan anyway. But so again, that's a tangent. In terms of corporation directorship, as I say, I'm reaching the point now where I am back to being willing to invest proper energy into the game, and that's really important. I think if you're going to run a corporation, if you're going to be CEO, if you're going to be part of the director team, you need to be willing to invest significant energy and effort and mental energy and stuff into the game. That's what we were doing before, and that's what was going quite well. That's what we then couldn't do, and basically the whole thing collapsed. So I've reached the point where I am prepared now to put my personal energy back into the game. I believe Cal is on the same page. It won't be too long till we've got Hot Black back, so my hope is that now we've picked up this series again, we can start to see the rise of the corporation again, and you guys can see we can go back to sort of talking about what it takes, what's involved in corporation directorship for a small wormhole corporation. That's the plan. I will say I'm not going to be doing regular uploads, like it's not going to be every Wednesday or every Sunday or whatever it was before. I'm going to upload videos when I can. It might mean there's 3 in a week. It might mean there's a 3-week gap and we get another one. That is also going to depend on the audio quality that I can achieve with my laptop when I'm back in Germany. But even in that regard, I will, even if it's shit audio quality, I will upload a video at that point just so that you guys are aware if you've been following the series. I will upload one with the shocking audio quality, just basically them pointing it out and saying, "Look, guys, sorry, it's not going to work." But so yeah, that's the plan for the medium term. I'm excited to get back into the swing of things within the corporation. I have definitely missed it. I've missed the team. The couple of guys that unfortunately sort of had to leave to match up with their game style and 92.3 and what's it called? Time zones. Like I genuinely miss those guys. They're brilliant to fly with, brilliant to game with, and hopefully one day we'll fly together again. But in order to achieve that, we need to get the corporation going and make it an attractive place to come and take part in. But anyway, I've waffled on now for quite a long time. Where are we in the recording? 26 minutes. Oh, that's almost perfect, actually. That means as well, I guess it was almost bang on 20 minutes running that site, and that was whilst distracted. So, that's not bad. I'm probably, what time is it? I'll probably run one more to pull in the 270 something million for an evening and then leave the last one. But yeah, cool. Well, I've enjoyed just wishing away at you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Yeah, and hope you're all well. And I will catch you all in the next one. Have a good one, guys. Cheers.